Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a real-time introduction at least, and then I will speed up the rest. So I have talked about being on Swapbot a few times in my other videos, once with a journal and once with a couple other things. Oh good, here comes my puppy with her new toy. Sorry if you hear squeaking. So I recently signed up for another exchange that is for journal pages. So instead of sending a whole journal, we're just going to make a couple of pages, one to do with a prompt and another just free reign of what you want to create, and then send it to the other person, and then you'll get their pages that they created. So that is what I'm going to be doing for you in this video. The prompt is just red, black, and white. So I have my white and my black paint. And then I have an assortment of reds. So my daughter and I do rock painting, and so we've got a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm not sure if we're supposed to use only one red, one white, and one black, but I picked all of the reds we have that actually have the word red in it. So this is true red, flamenco red, cardinal red, flag red, red apple. And so I am going to use these to kind of create dimension, and then these two to create like an art piece. So it can be like a background, or it can be like an actual art piece. So since we have to do two, I'm going to attempt to do one that is like an art piece and then one that's just like a background. So if this sounds interesting to you, I hope that you will stick around and see what I can create from the red, black, and white palette. I'm just going to be working with these like folk art apple barrel type paints. This is our paint palette, just a Dollar Tree plate, and then I have a piece of, this is just cardstock, like white cardstock. I can't find my gesso. I used to have gesso, but I don't know where it is, so we're gonna just see what I can do with this. I hope that you stick around and enjoy. Subscribe if you enjoy this kind of video, because I do these things regularly, and I will see you at the end. That was a very noisy intro, and I'm sorry. This is why I voice over my videos after my family is asleep. And you're welcome, I guess. So what I'm doing right there is there was a size limitation. It had to be either 5x7 or 4x6, so I elected to do one of each, one 4x6, one 5x7. The one that I'm working on first is the 5x7, and I kind of had this idea about what I wanted it to be. I kind of was thinking like a, not really Halloween-y, but like an old tree type thing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking two of the darker reds and mixing it with black, because I wanted a really black, like red outline. So this is like a brick color, and then I wanted it to get lighter as it comes in, because that circle is going to be a moon. And so the idea in my head, and I did find a couple pictures on Pinterest for references. Sorry, my brain. But this idea just kind of like came in my brain. So I went dark from the outside, lighter to the inside, and then you see me mixing in the red and the white together, and I don't know how much I love that. I blended it out. You can see that I blended it out a little bit and then went back in and cleaned up the white. I think if it were me, I would not have made like in my brain, I wanted like a ring around the moon, like that old sailor red in the morn, sailors be warned. Like, I kind of wanted like that in my brain, but it did not transfer into... Does anybody else have that issue? Like, what you had in your brain does not come across on the paper. I do this all the time. When I do artwork, when I paint rocks, it just is not what I wanted. But it turned out okay. I added some kind of stars with the white and flicked it in the background. And now what I'm going to do, I think, is start on the tree, which I'm doing in black. And then I mix a little bit of white eventually in for, like, it almost looks gray, but it's still, in my opinion, a dark black for some highlights, I guess. I don't know. But I work the best with silhouettes. When I paint rocks too, I typically, my favorite ones that I do of my own art to hide in the rocks is a silhouette. So like desert silhouettes or like winter cabin silhouette type things. And I think that's just because I'm afraid of trying to do something with detail. But you know what? It's fine. I did an alright job. My husband really liked it. My husband is trying to convince me to paint it on like a canvas, like recreate it on a canvas because he likes it so much and wants one for our bedroom, which is a nice little boost to my self-esteem, even though I don't think it's that good. You tell me. What do you think? You will see me come back. Like, I paint this. Like, I spent forever on this. I edited down. I think the video was of just this one was like 45 to 50 minutes long of me just doing this. And then I edited out sometimes because there were a couple times that I like had gotten up and changed the water. You'll see in a minute, I think. I changed the water, or maybe I already did. I was not paying attention. I'm sorry. But I edited it down a lot. Like, this whole video is 20 minutes, and just this red and black and white painting took me 50. So, but I do come back, like, you will see a second round of this painting, I think, and I've got, like, a coffee cup. So I did a lot of work on this because I did it, and you can even see right now that, like, the branches just, I didn't get the branches the way I wanted them. I think the end, it worked out all right, and it looks good, but I think the lesson to be learned for me, and maybe if you're watching this too, is that it's okay to keep working with it. And if you don't love it the first time, try to tweak it a little bit. Try to change it up so that it is something that you like. And then also, I think maybe a little bit of the lesson is that if it's not 100% perfect, it's okay. It doesn't have to match your brain. See, there's that coffee. I came back because I needed to fix it. And then I think I did a third touch-up off camera. I don't think I even filmed that last one because I was just so frustrated with this whole thing at the point. But it turned out cute. I do like it. I love how it all kind of came together. Like, there were little things that bugged me, like the reddish pink around the moon, and the branches not being thick enough. But I think in the end, it came together, and I do like what came of it. So I'm going to put some music on over this, and then I will come back when I start the second one, and we will talk about that piece of art and kind of what was in my brain for that one. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you soon. Bye! Okay, so for this piece, I don't know, this mini artwork, I really just, I wanted to center it around yellow and the gray, honestly. I am friends with, I was friends with, I don't know, I haven't talked to her in a while, I should call her, friends with a girl, and her favorite, like, color combination was yellow and gray. And for whatever reason in my brain, I was like, I want to kind of make artwork with her in mind. So I started with the yellow and the gray, and yeah, I just kind of grabbed some green, that darker green and that lighter green, for kind of a, I don't want to say contrast, but for kind of a contrast, you know what I mean? And so I just kind of made a crosshatch. Is that kind of what I did? I don't know. I just painted in the horizontal and vertical directions with them and kind of overlapped it to make a background type. And I like how it looked. Looking at it now, I think I should have maybe blended a little bit more on that darker green, because it kind of sticks out weirdly. But, you know, it's done. This piece is done, and it's fine. I like circles. So I did circles on top of it. I used the white with the bigger circles, and then this gold I used with the smaller circle. They're both glue caps. One of them was my big fat purple Elmer's glue, and this was like a skinnier, like precision tip Elmer's glue. I like the circles. I was going to do that pencil there. I was going to do like fat filled in circles with the eraser. But I kind of decided that I didn't want the big blotches. I guess blotches. Yeah. So I like how that turned out. And I felt like they were clustered nicely, but there was still too much blank space, so I grabbed that stamp, which was literally just sitting out from something else I had done, and I kind of put it in the space. And then I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. I made this background, and I really liked it, and the girl, this friend that I have, she always really liked earthy things, so I wanted to create something that was a little more earthy. So what you see right here with me is I am sketching out some mushrooms, and so I'm kind of making a focal point with these book pages, and I'm making 3 mushrooms, and you'll see me cut them out in a second. This book, someone sent me these pages at some point for some, I have picked, this is a Harry Potter book, and then the other book pages they gave me were, I believe, Macbeth and maybe one of the Twilight, I think the first Twilight book, I don't know. Anyway, so these, I did not take a poor book and rip it apart, but even if I had, it's my book, and I can do what I want. But someone sent me these book pages, and so they work really well. I am a teacher, and sometimes books fall apart, and so I don't feel sad when that happens, and I always assume that if a book fell apart, it would want a new life. And so that's kind of what I did. So what I have done with these is that I've decided that the paper was just too white and too bare. So what I'm going to do, what I attempt to do with that paper is watercolor the background. So I take that handmade watercolor that I bought from an Etsy store, and I'm going to just paint the whole mushroom kind of, this, what is that? Is that brown? Is that a tea color? Is that a yellowish? I don't know. I think it's called Goldfinch is the name of the color. But, you know, I wanted it earthy, and that was the color that I felt was the earthiest. And so I paint the whole things. It was kind of a pain because then they had to dry. I held them up to my heater so that they would dry. And then once I did that, I decided that I wanted more, I guess, more color to them. And so once I painted them and I dried them, I wanted to take that little brown ink pad that you see and kind of ink the edges, but then the ink didn't show up. And so I kind of decided that since the ink didn't show up like I wanted to, like, here I go, I'm trying, it's not showing up, I take a brown, yeah, see, that's me, my frustration right there. So I took a brown paint and I kind of like paint the edges around the mushroom, which looks pretty good. I liked how it looked, don't get me wrong, but then for some reason I decided, whatever, and I used a pen and I outlined them. I don't know. I guess deep down, everything annoys me about my art and I can't make a choice. See, look, that looks nice. That like little edging. But I think I wanted just more detail to make them look like mushrooms and not some like dirty phallic symbol. Because also, you know, if you don't, I work with middle schoolers and I have to really always be hyper aware because there's always going to be some little, you know, boy or girl in the class who everything is, you know, negative in their mind with that thing because it's just the age they are. Things are changing. And so I looked at them and I was like, those still look phallic. So I outline them with a black pen. Yep, see, there I go. And then I think I paint some details on them also. So it's not... Yeah, see, there you go. Mushrooms. They look really cute now with that little bit of detail. So I agree that it needed that. But I'm just picky. Picky with my art, as we all are, aren't we? I'm going to go ahead and put some music on again and let you just go ahead and watch the rest of this video out. There's not too much left. So I hope that you enjoy the look of this and how it ends up, because I do really love how this ends up. I'm happy that whoever I send this to gets it because it looks good. I did all right. It's not perfect, but it's all right. And sometimes that's what we need. It's just all right. So I hope you also are all right. And I will see you again on this channel real soon. Have a good one.